from Wave in Louisville, Kentucky. This is Listens Live.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to you, and thanks for joining us here on Wave Listens Live. I'm your host, Brian Schlonsky. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. We have got a great show to help you kick off this Monday as we take you to the rundown now and show you the guests we can expect. Kentucky Kingdom will be here with us today talking about season passes and all the exciting things happening at our own hometown theme park. We've got, speaking of parks, Waterfront Park here with us as well. They've got a preview of their brand new event, Sailing into Summer. It is happening this weekend. But up first today, Dr. Kane is here, Cornerstone Wellness Center. We have got a guest with us today. We are talking neuropathy, all things and treatments, and we have someone special to introduce you to as we go throughout the segment here today. So, Dr. Doug Kane joining us as always. It's always good to see you.
Thanks for having us back. Appreciate it.
And we've got Clint Noltenmeyer, who is a patient from Cornerstone Wellness Center. And Clint, it's great to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
Before we jump into the patient story here, let's do a quick rundown. I know we always talk about all things neuropathy, kind of educate folks that maybe haven't heard it in a while.
Right. Well, and there's always new people watching every week, so we want to make sure that everybody gets filled in and knows what's going on. So, peripheral neuropathy, so what we're dealing with is essentially the nerves aren't working right. You know, our nerves communicate with our brain properly, so we have normal sensation. But folks that deal with neuropathy, they don't. And so things that they might experience is excruciating pain, or they feel like their feet are on fire, or they're frozen, or they'll get that pins and needles. Some people feel like they have got bugs crawling on them or itch. And sometimes it's a complete absence of sensation, and we call that numbness. And all these things combined over time can lead to balance issues, which can lead to falls, head injuries, and then sometimes we know those can be fatal. So it's not for the faint of heart and not to be played with.
Knowing that we got to take care of this if it's something that we're suffering with, what are the most common types? Because Clint's story is going to be interesting because it kind of falls under a different category.
Right. So there's many different causes. In the scientific literature, there's over 100 different documented causes of neuropathy. A lot of the people that we've been on here before with diabetic neuropathy. That is by far the most common cause. The second one is chemotherapy-induced neuropathy, which is, of course, what my mother was afflicted with and how I got started with this 8 years ago. And then behind that would be spine and joint related, or what we call orthopedic related neuropathy. And that's actually what Clint suffered with. And so it's, I say that to say that it's not a one size fits all. We got to document, you know, what type of neuropathy you have. Is it small fiber, large fiber? What's the cause? How long have you had it, and the severity? All those things go into the mix for us designing the proper treatment program for each individual patient.
Which is why it's so important to schedule those consultations with Cornerstone. You go over all of these things and get to the root of what the issue is. Okay, turning to you, Clint, because we've got you here today to kind of share your experience. So first thing I want to ask you is, how long did you suffer, and when did you know, hey, something's going on here and I've got to get it fixed?
I was diagnosed about 3-4 years ago, and I started doing research. And then I start reading a lot of things and trying out different supplements, because I get like emails to try this out and do research, and none of them are really doing anything. Then I tried laser, MLS laser. It really didn't do anything. Then I was seen by a nephrologist, and they put me on gabapentin, but I still had issues with my feet, the balancing, the walking. Then the main thing was sleeping at night. I couldn't sleep. I was having trouble staying asleep. I would wake up, and I didn't sleep for a long time. And then I went on Facebook and found this Dr. Kane, and I started reading about that, and I thought, this is incredible. The testimonies and stuff, that's me. That's me. And I thought, this works, it's worth a try. So that's when I contacted him, made an appointment, and got seen.
Dr. Kane, turn it back to you for a second. You mentioned some of these medications. Those are typically what a lot of patients who come to you have tried in the past?
Yeah, gabapentin is boilerplate treatment for neuropathy. That will be the first thing that's usually tried. There's a couple other, Cymbalta, Lyrica. Ironically, all of these, this is off-label use for all of these drugs. None of them went through the FDA as far as, you know, neuropathy, treating nerve pain or so forth. They are good at masking symptoms for some people early on, but then as the disease process progresses, the dosage of the medication increases, and then we get into, now people are starting to have issues with side effects or with liver or kidney toxicity, and then they can't take them at all. So as far as those that are medical trained, gabapentin is usually the starting point and the be-all end-all for that. But we want to focus on treating the root cause of what's bringing on these neuropathy symptoms to begin with.
So Clint, going back to you, you're at the point now where you've done all this research, you've tried all these medications, you've tried supplements, none of this is working, you can't sleep, it's obviously your quality of life is downgraded. You find Dr. Kane, you go through the treatments there. How are you feeling today?
I feel great. I mean, I can walk better, my balance, and I can sleep. I mean, I can do that, and that's the main thing. If you can't sleep, it's over with. And knowing that down the road I won't have more issues going on, it's getting better. And they're reversing it. I mean, that's incredible. Because I was never read anything where you could reverse this. Sure. It's just a life sentence. And I'm just very impressed with it.
You were obviously a proactive patient. You were doing research. You were trying things. You were trying to get to the bottom of it. That's how you found Dr. Kane. I know that there's people that we're speaking to today who maybe aren't as proactive with their health journey. They're sitting back and they know they have some of the same issues that you've dealt with, but they're just hesitant to seek help for whatever reason that is, and they're living with this discomfort, this pain, with these balance issues, the sleeping issues. What message would you want to tell those folks who maybe could have relief but haven't been seeking it for whatever reason?
I would definitely call Cornerstone and get some help, because they can help you, they can change this and make your life totally different. Yeah. It's like I have my life back now.
Yeah, and getting to do the things that you couldn't before.
Exactly. That's huge. Yeah. That's huge.
I know this is what you talk about often is one of the reasons your mother was your first patient. That's why you do what you do, to give people the quality of their life back.
Right. When we first met Clint, we got a baseline of what type of symptom loss he had, and he had 74% sensory loss in his feet. So that's pretty dramatic, pretty severe. In just 90 days, we were able to reverse that down to 27% sensory loss. We cut that less than half. Now, we're going to continue to work with him. He's going to be doing at-home protocol at this point going forward, but because he had more of an orthopedic-related issue, we had to do a little more in office with him. And he drove twice a week from Georgetown, Kentucky for 12 weeks. But we did, chiropractic care, we did balance training, we did lumbar spinal decompression to help decompress some of those degenerative discs in the lower back that was playing a role. And then we did our new cutting-edge technology, the soft wave treatment, and that's made a huge, huge difference. All that to say, that's not bad in 90 days for a disease process that is still taught you can't do anything for.
And that he tried as many things as he had before that point, and to knock it down that far in 90 days. Okay, we've got less than a minute left. Want to make sure people can get in touch with you, kind of walk us through in the next minute the steps. If you're sitting where Clint was and you're needing something and you're needing to reach out, how do we go about everything?
Absolutely. The information, the contact information is on the screen right there. Call our office. My staff is standing by waiting to call or waiting to take your phone calls. Can schedule your appointment. We can get you in today. You can be like Clint in 90 days. By the end of summer, have a completely different quality of life. If you would like to see more testimonies, you can actually visit the website on the screen there, and you can see many of the testimonies. A lot of them took place right here on this set.
Well, I want to thank you, obviously, Dr. Kane, always for being here and filling us in and telling us about these treatments that are much needed in our community. Clint, I want to thank you for being here today, and it's great to see you smiling and know that you're in the place that you are and going forward. Any big plans around the corner now that you can do things a little differently?
Nothing huge, but just enjoying everyday life. Yeah. That's the key.
That's what we all need to do. We'll take that message with us as we go throughout the show today. All right, stay with us here on Wave Listens Live. We've got 2 more great segments to go today. Coming up next, Kentucky Kingdom is here. They're going to talk all about the summer happenings. We'll talk season passes and more from Kentucky's hometown theme park.